The transport shuttle descended through Earth's atmosphere, and Zixthor felt his stomach drop. The gravity was already pulling at him, making his limbs feel heavy. He glanced at his fellow students. Velra's antennae twitched nervously, and Krina's skin had turned a pale blue color that meant she was anxious. "Relax," Zixthor said, though his own voice shook. "The report said humans are friendly. This will be fine." The shuttle landed at the university with a soft thud. When the doors opened, Zixthor tried to stand and nearly fell. Everything felt wrong. His body weighed twice what it should. He grabbed the seat in front of him and pulled himself up slowly. "Is everyone all right?" Professor Amy Richardson stood at the entrance. She was human, with kind eyes and a warm smile. "Take your time. I know the gravity is an adjustment." Zixthor made his way down the ramp, each step requiring real effort. His legs trembled. By the time he reached the bottom, he was breathing hard. The other alien students looked just as exhausted. "Welcome to Earth," Amy said. She gestured to a young human male standing beside her. "This is Kyle Morrison. He's one of our student ambassadors. He'll help you get settled." Kyle waved. "Hey, everyone. Good to meet you." He picked up 3 large bags effortlessly, one in each hand and one tucked under his arm. "I'll grab your luggage. The dorms aren't far." Zixthor watched in amazement as Kyle lifted bags that must have weighed 50 pounds each. The human didn't even seem to strain. Velra tried to lift her own small bag and stumbled. "Oh, here," Kyle said, reaching over. "Let me help with that." "How are you so strong?" Velra asked. Kyle laughed. "What do you mean? These aren't heavy." He started walking toward a large building. "Come on, I'll give you the tour." The walk to the dormitory should have taken 5 minutes. For the alien students, it took 20. Every step was work. The concrete path seemed to stretch forever. Human students passed them constantly, moving at speeds that seemed impossible. Some were running, actually running, for fun. "Why are they moving so fast?" Krina asked. "Oh, they're probably late for class," Kyle said. He wasn't even breathing hard, despite carrying all the bags. "Campus is pretty spread out." By the time they reached the dorm building, Zixthor's legs were shaking. He looked up at the structure. It was 5 stories tall. "Please tell me there's an elevator," he said. "Of course," Kyle said, "but it's broken right now. Maintenance is coming tomorrow. Don't worry, you guys are only on the 2nd floor." The stairs were a nightmare. Zixthor had to pull himself up using the railing. His muscles screamed in protest. Beside him, Velra was making small, clicking sounds of distress. Krina had to stop every 3 steps to rest. Kyle waited at the top, still holding all the bags. He didn't look tired at all. "Sorry about the elevator," he said. "I complained to facilities, but they said it's not urgent since it's only 2 floors. Only 2 floors. Zixthor felt like he had climbed a mountain. The rooms were nice at least. Zixthor collapsed onto his bed immediately. The mattress was firmer than he was used to, designed for human weight and human gravity. Everything on this planet was built for humans. That evening, Amy gathered all 6 alien students in a common room. She had brought food from their respective worlds, shipped at great expense. Zixthor was grateful. The smell of Earth food had been overwhelming. Too strong, too spicy, too everything. "I know today was hard," Amy said, "but you'll adjust. The gravity simulators in your rooms will help you sleep. During the day, you can use the assistance bands if you need them." "How long until we adjust?" Velra asked. "Most species adapt within a few weeks," Amy said. "Your muscles will strengthen. It gets easier." Kyle sat on the edge of a table, his legs swinging casually. The furniture was designed to hold human weight, which meant it was reinforced well beyond what the aliens needed. "So, what do you guys want to do this weekend?" Kyle asked. "I was thinking of going hiking up in the mountains. There's this great trail that leads to a waterfall. You guys should come." The room went silent. "Hiking?" Zixthor said slowly. "In mountains?" "Yeah, it's only about a 6-mile round trip. Pretty easy. Great views." 6 miles, Krina repeated. "Walking. For fun." "Well, yeah," Kyle said. He looked confused. "Do you not hike on your planets?" "Our planet is flat," Velra said quietly. "We have no mountains. The highest point is maybe 20 feet above sea level." "Oh, wow," Kyle said. "That's so different. Earth has mountains over 29,000 feet tall. I've always wanted to climb Everest, but you need special training." The aliens stared at him. "You want to climb something that's 29,000 feet high?" Zixthor asked. "I mean, eventually," Kyle said. "It's on my bucket list. My sister actually did it last year. She said it was amazing." Amy cleared her throat. "Perhaps we should start with something less intense. Kyle, maybe show them around campus first?" "Oh, sure," Kyle said. He hopped off the table. The impact of his landing would have broken Zixthor's ankles. "There's a great coffee shop nearby. We can walk over." More walking. Zixthor's legs already hurt from the stairs. Over the next few days, the alien students began to notice things. Small things at first. Human students carried backpacks loaded with books, computers, and supplies. 20, 30, sometimes 40 pounds of weight, and they didn't seem to notice. They climbed stairs without thought. They walked miles between classes every day. One afternoon, Zixthor watched a human woman trip on the sidewalk. She fell hard, landing on her hands and knees. He rushed over to help, certain she was badly injured. "Are you okay?" he asked. The woman stood up, brushing off her pants. Her palms were scraped and bleeding slightly. "Yeah, I'm fine. Just clumsy." She picked up her bag and kept walking. Zixthor stood there, stunned. That fall would have sent him to medical care. She had just walked it off. That night, the 6 alien students met in Velra's room. "I read the classification files again," Krina said. "Earth is listed as a Class 12 Deathworld. I thought it was a mistake." "What does that mean exactly?" Velra asked. "It means Earth is one of the most hostile planets in the known galaxy that still supports complex life," Krina said. "High gravity, extreme temperature variations, active geology, dangerous predators, the list goes on." "But the humans seem so nice," Velra said. "That's what I don't understand," Zixthor said. "They're friendly and helpful. They don't act like a species from a death world." "Maybe they don't know," Krina suggested. "Maybe they think their planet is normal." There was a knock on the door. Kyle stood outside, holding a pizza box. "Hey, I thought you guys might want to try Earth food," he said. "This is pizza. It's pretty basic. Nothing too weird." The smell hit them immediately. Strong cheese, cooked meat, spices they couldn't identify. Zixthor's eyes watered. "Thanks," Velra said weakly. Kyle set the box down and opened it. Steam rose from the hot food. "It's still warm. Dig in." He took a slice and bit into it. The cheese was still bubbling. The heat didn't seem to bother him at all. The aliens exchanged glances. Their food had to be cooled to specific temperatures. Too hot or too cold could make them sick. Humans apparently just ate things at any temperature. "Oh, by the way," Kyle said around a mouthful of pizza, "Professor Richardson wanted me to tell you guys, we have a field trip next week. We're going to a national park to study Earth's ecosystems. Should be fun." After Kyle left, the aliens sat in silence. "A national park," Zixthor said finally. "Where the wild animals are." The bus ride to the national park took 2 hours. Zixthor spent most of it staring out the window in growing horror. The landscape kept changing. First there were buildings and roads, then flat farmland, then rolling hills, and now they were climbing into mountains. Actual mountains. "How can one planet have so many different environments?" he whispered to Velra. She shook her head, her antennae drooping. My world has one climate. One. Everywhere. This is insane. Dr. Brandon Cole stood at the front of the bus as it wound up the mountain road. He was a biologist, tall and energetic, holding onto the overhead rail as the bus swayed around curves. "We're entering a temperate forest zone," he said. "This area gets about 40 inches of rain per year. In winter, temperatures can drop below freezing. In summer, they can reach 90 degrees. "That's a 70-degree variation," Krina said quietly. "That would kill everything on my planet." The bus stopped at a visitor center. When the doors opened, Zixthor smelled the air and immediately started coughing. It was thick with scents. Plants, soil, something musky he couldn't identify. So many smells layered on top of each other. Kyle appeared next to him. "You okay?" "The air," Zixthor managed. "It's so strong." "Oh yeah, the forest has a pretty distinct smell," Kyle said. "I love it. Reminds me of camping with my family." Nicole Peters, a graduate student, was passing out equipment. She handed Zixthor a gravity assistance band and an environmental monitor. "The band will help offset about 30% of the gravity," she said. "The monitor tracks your vital signs. If anything seems wrong, it'll alert us immediately." Zixthor noticed that none of the humans were wearing any assistance equipment. They were just standing there, breathing the complex air, existing in the gravity that crushed him. The trail started easy. A wooden boardwalk led through the trees. But even with the assistance band, Zixthor struggled. The path sloped upward, not steep by human standards, but every step required effort. "Look at this," Dr. Cole said, stopping by a large tree. "This is a Douglas fir. It's about 200 years old." 200 years? Velra asked. "That's older than our oldest structures." "Some trees on Earth live for thousands of years," Dr. Cole said. He patted the trunk. "This one could live another 500 years easily." Zixthor looked up. The tree stretched high above them, its branches creating a canopy that blocked out the sky. On his world, plants didn't grow this big. They didn't need to. There were no seasons to prepare for, no competition for sunlight. "Everything here is fighting to survive," he realized. "Well, yes," Dr. Cole said. "That's how evolution works. Competition drives adaptation." They walked deeper into the forest. Nicole pointed out different plants, explaining which ones were edible and which ones were poisonous. "Wait," Zixthor said. "You have poisonous plants? Just growing wild?" "Oh, sure," Nicole said. "Tons of them. See that plant with the 3 leaves? That's poison ivy. Touching it gives you an itchy rash. And those red berries over there? Those will make you very sick." "How do you survive?" Velra asked. Nicole laughed. "You learn what not to touch. We teach kids about it when they're young." Kyle had wandered ahead on the trail. He suddenly froze and held up his hand. "Snake," he called back quietly. The alien students panicked. Zixthor grabbed Velra's arm. Krina made a high-pitched sound of distress. Nicole walked forward calmly. "What kind?" "Garter snake, I think," Kyle said. "Yeah, see the stripes?" A long, thin creature was stretched across the path. It had scales and a forked tongue that flicked in and out. Zixthor felt his survival instincts screaming at him to run. "It's harmless," Dr. Cole said. He knelt down next to it. The snake slithered away into the undergrowth. "Garter snakes are common here. They eat insects and small rodents." "You have predators just living in your forests?" Zixthor asked. "Everything in nature is either a predator or prey," Dr. Cole said. "Often both. Garter snakes hunt insects, but are hunted by hawks and foxes." "We have over 3,000 species of snakes on Earth," Nicole added. "About 600 of them are venomous." The alien stared at her. "Venomous," Krina repeated. 600 species that can poison you." "Well, not all of them live in this area," Nicole said, as if that was comforting. They continued hiking. Dr. Cole pointed out animal tracks in the mud. "Deer," he said, "and those larger prints were from a black bear." "Bear?" Zixthor stopped walking. There are bears here? Oh yeah, this is bear country, Kyle said. I've seen a few. You mostly just make noise so they know you're coming. They usually avoid humans. Usually? Velra whispered. I got chased by one once, Kyle continued. I was camping in the Rockies and left food out by accident. The bear came into camp around midnight. I had to climb a tree and wait for it to leave. You were chased by a bear, Zixthor said. A creature that wanted to kill you. Hey, it probably just wanted my sandwiches, Kyle said. But yeah, it was scary at the time. I was like 12. 12, Zixthor repeated. You encountered a deadly predator when you were a child. I mean, my parents were nearby, Kyle said. They had bear spray. Nicole started explaining Earth's food chains. Producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, apex predators. On most civilized worlds, apex predators had been eliminated or relocated thousands of years ago. On Earth, they still existed. Everywhere. Humans coexist with creatures that hunt them? Krina asked. Humans are apex predators too, Dr. Cole said. We're actually one of the most successful predators on the planet. We just don't hunt the way other species do. How do you hunt? Velra asked. Persistence, Dr. Cole said. Human ancestors would chase prey for hours, sometimes days, until the animal collapsed from exhaustion. We can't run fast, but we can run forever. Thunder rumbled in the distance. Zixthor looked up at the sky. Dark clouds were gathering. Looks like weather's moving in, Nicole said. She checked her phone. Yeah, there's a storm coming. We should head back. The wind picked up. Trees swayed and creaked. Leaves scattered across the path. The temperature dropped noticeably. This is normal? Zixthor asked, watching the trees bend. Just a summer thunderstorm, Kyle said. They happen all the time. The first drops of rain started to fall. Within minutes, it was pouring. Water came down in sheets. Lightning flashed across the sky, followed by thunder that shook the ground. Zixthor had never experienced a lightning storm. His world had weather control systems. Rain fell on schedule, gentle and predictable. This was chaos. Raw energy crackling through the air. Sound that felt like it could split his skull. The humans calmly pulled out rain jackets from their backpacks. They had prepared for this, expected it even. Come on, Nicole said. There's a shelter up ahead. They ran through the rain. Zixthor's feet slipped on the wet ground. His clothes were soaked through immediately. Water ran into his eyes. The assistance band sparked and died, leaving him with full Earth gravity. Kyle grabbed his arm and helped him along. The human's grip was strong, pulling Zixthor forward with ease. The shelter was just a wooden structure with a roof. They huddled inside, watching the storm rage around them. Lightning struck a tree in the distance. The crack of splitting wood echoed through the forest. That was close, Dr. Cole said. Probably half a mile away. Half a mile. The lightning could kill them from half a mile away. Zixthor looked at his fellow aliens. They were all trembling. Wet, cold, scared. The humans were calm, slightly wet, mildly inconvenienced. How do you live like this? Velra asked quietly. How do you survive on a planet that's constantly trying to kill you? Kyle looked surprised by the question. What do you mean? The gravity, the weather, the poisonous plants, the predators, everything here is dangerous. I guess, Kyle said. But you just learn to deal with it. You prepare for storms. You learn which plants to avoid. You respect the wildlife. It's not that hard. Not that hard, Zixthor repeated. The rain continued for another hour. When it finally stopped, the humans packed up and led them back to the bus. The trail was muddy now, slippery and treacherous. Zixthor fell twice. Both times, Kyle helped him up without comment. On the bus ride back, Dr. Cole gave a lecture about Earth's immune system requirements. Humans, he explained, were exposed to billions of microorganisms every day. Their bodies had to constantly fight off infections. Your immune system is like an army that never sleeps, he said. It's why humans can travel to so many different environments. We're built to handle biological threats. What happens if we get sick here? Krina asked. We have medicine, Dr. Cole said. But honestly, you'll probably get sick at some point. Earth has a lot of bacteria and viruses that your systems have never encountered. That's comforting, Velra muttered. Zixthor stared out the window as the sun set. The sky turned orange and red and purple, colors bleeding together. On his world, sunsets were always the same pale yellow fading to gray. Earth's atmosphere created something different every evening. Beautiful and deadly, he thought, like everything else on this planet. That night, the alien students gathered again in Velra's room. They were tired, sore, and shaken. I looked up human evolution, Krina said. Humans developed on the African savanna. High heat, dangerous predators, limited water sources. They survived by being smart and stubborn. They survived by being impossible to kill, Zixthor said. Did you see Kyle? He got chased by a bear when he was 12. 12. And he's fine. The university gym was massive. Zixthor stood in the doorway, staring at rows of strange machines, metal frames with weights attached. Treadmills, bicycles that went nowhere. Humans were scattered throughout the space, lifting heavy objects, running, sweating. This is where humans voluntarily torture themselves, Velra said. Coach Ryan Martinez walked over, smiling. He was built like a wall, all muscle and energy. His handshake nearly crushed Zixthor's hand. Welcome to physical education, Ryan said. Today we'll be doing some basic exercises. Don't worry, we'll keep it light for you. Light. Zixthor didn't like the sound of that. A young woman was running on a treadmill nearby. She had been running when they arrived 20 minutes ago. She was still running now, her pace steady, her breathing controlled. That's Megan Torres, Ryan said. She's on our track team. She's just finishing up her morning run. How long has she been running? Krina asked. About an hour, I think, Ryan said. She usually does 10 to 15 miles in the morning. 15 miles, Zixthor said. Every morning. Well, she's training for a marathon, Ryan said. That's 26.2 miles. You have to build up endurance. The aliens exchanged horrified looks. Megan slowed the treadmill and stepped off. She grabbed a towel and wiped her face. She wasn't even breathing that hard. Hey, coach, she said. These the exchange students? Yep, Ryan said. I'm giving them an intro to human fitness. Cool, Megan said. She smiled at the aliens. Welcome to Earth. Hope you're enjoying it. You just ran for an hour, Velra said. Why? Megan looked confused. Because I'm training. I have a race next month. But why run at all? Why push yourself like that? To get better, Megan said. To see what I'm capable of. Plus, it feels good once you get into a rhythm. She jogged away to another part of the gym. Actually, jogged after running for an hour. Humans are pursuit predators, Ryan explained. Our ancestors hunted by chasing prey until it collapsed from exhaustion. We're built for endurance. How far can humans run? Zixthor asked. Well, that depends on the person, Ryan said. Most healthy humans can run a few miles without much training. With training, marathon distance is achievable. Ultramarathons can be 50 miles or more. 50 miles, Krina whispered. The record for running without stopping is about 350 miles, Ryan added. Took the guy about 3 days. Kyle appeared from the locker room, wearing shorts and a t-shirt. Ready to show them the basics? Let's start with the treadmill, Ryan said. He led Zixthor to one of the machines and set it to the lowest speed. Just walk, nice and easy. Zixthor stepped onto the moving belt. Even at the lowest setting, keeping up required focus. His legs were already tired from crossing campus. After 2 minutes, he was breathing hard. Kyle stepped onto the treadmill next to him. He set his speed much higher and started jogging. Not running, just a casual jog, but he was moving 3 times faster than Zixthor. "So what's your planet like?" Kyle asked. He wasn't even breathing hard. "Flat," Zixthor managed. "Lower gravity, stable climate." "Sounds nice," Kyle said. "Must be pretty relaxing." Relaxing. Yes, because it wasn't actively trying to kill everyone. After 5 minutes, Zixthor had to stop. His legs were shaking. Kyle had barely broken a sweat. "Good start," Ryan said. "You'll build up stamina over time. Let's try some strength training." He led them to a section with weights. Free weights ranging from 5 pounds to hundreds of pounds. Machines designed to work specific muscle groups. "We'll start light," Ryan said. He handed Zixthor 2 small dumbbells. 5 pounds each. "Just do some basic curls." Zixthor lifted the weights. They felt heavy. He managed 10 repetitions before his arms started burning. Kyle picked up 2 dumbbells that were clearly much heavier, 40 pounds each. He did 20 curls easily, then switched to a different exercise. "Human muscle density is higher than most species," Ryan explained, "and our bone structure is designed to handle high impact. Earth's gravity made us strong." "How strong?" Velra asked. "Average human can lift about their own body weight without training," Ryan said. "With training, 2 to 3 times their body weight. Professional powerlifters can lift much more." He demonstrated by walking over to a barbell. He loaded plates onto each side, then lifted the whole thing over his head. The bar bent slightly under the weight. "That's about 300 pounds, he said, lowering it back down. "I'm working up to 400. The aliens stared. "That would crush me," Zixthor said quietly. "Yeah, you guys need to be careful with weights," Ryan said. "Your bone structure isn't designed for this kind of stress." Nicole arrived with her laptop. "Coach asked me to show you some videos of human athletic achievements." She pulled up footage of various sports. Track and field events showed humans running at impossible speeds, jumping over high bars, throwing heavy objects incredible distances. "How is that possible?" Krina asked, watching a human throw a spear-like object that sailed through the air. "Javelin throw," Nicole said. "Humans are really good at throwing things. It's how we hunted before we had advanced weapons. We can throw with accuracy and force that most species can't match." The next video showed baseball. A pitcher threw a ball at nearly 100 miles per hour. The batter hit it with a wooden stick, sending it flying out of the stadium. "The precision required for that is incredible," Velra said. "The timing, the coordination." "Humans have really good hand-eye coordination," Nicole said, "and our reaction times are fast. We had to be quick to survive." More videos followed. Rock climbing, where humans scaled sheer cliff faces using just their hands and feet. Diving, where they jumped from platforms 60 feet high into water. Skiing, where they raced down mountains at terrifying speeds. "Do humans ever just sit still?" Zixthor asked. Kyle laughed. "Sure, but that gets boring." "Boring," Zixthor repeated. "Sitting safely is boring to you." "Well, yeah," Kyle said. "Life's more fun when you challenge yourself." Ryan pulled up a chair and sat backwards on it. "Let me explain something about human development. When we're young, we play. Running, climbing, throwing, wrestling. It's how we learn. As we get older, we turn it into sports and competition." "But why?" Velra asked. "Why seek out difficulty?" "Because it makes us better," Ryan said. "Stronger, faster, more capable. On Earth, the strong survived. It's built into our culture now." Nicole pulled up another video. "This is Mount Everest, the highest point on Earth." The footage showed a frozen, wind-swept mountain peak. Humans in heavy gear were climbing up slopes of ice and snow. The wind howled around them. "The summit is 29,000 feet above sea level," Nicole said. "The air is so thin that humans need oxygen tanks to breathe. The temperature can drop to 60 below zero, and people still climb it." "Why?" Krina asked. "What's the purpose?" "Because it's there," Kyle said. "Because it's hard. Because it proves you can do it." "Humans seek danger," Zixthor said slowly. "Intentionally." "I wouldn't call it seeking danger," Nicole said. "More like seeking challenges, testing our limits." "Same thing," Zixthor muttered. Ryan stood up. "Let's talk about pain management. Humans have a pretty high pain tolerance compared to most species. It's another survival adaptation." He explained how human bodies produced natural painkillers during stress. Adrenaline, endorphins, cortisol, chemicals that let humans keep functioning even when injured. "So you have built-in combat drugs," Velra said. "I guess you could call them that," Ryan said. "They help us push through difficult situations." Megan had finished her workout and was doing stretches nearby. Zixthor watched her bend and twist in ways that looked painful. "Doesn't that hurt?" he called over. "Stretching?" Megan asked. "A little. But it feels good. Keeps you flexible." "You do something that hurts because it feels good," Zixthor said. "Well, yeah," Megan said. "No pain, no gain, right?" Kyle nodded. "That's pretty much the motto for exercise." "Your species is insane," Velra said. Ryan laughed. "Maybe, but it works for us." He showed them the campus athletic facilities, swimming pools where humans trained for hours, gymnastics equipment where they flipped and twisted through the air, a rock climbing wall that stretched 40 feet high. "Students use this for fun," Ryan said, gesturing to the climbing wall, "and for training. Some go on to climb real mountains." "Like Everest," Kyle added. "My sister trained here before she did her climb." "Your sister climbed the highest mountain on Earth," Zixthor said. "Yeah, took her about 2 months total," Kyle said, "including acclimation time. She said it was the hardest thing she's ever done, but also the most amazing." 2 months of suffering," Krina said. "On purpose." "She didn't see it as suffering," Kyle said. "She saw it as an adventure." They walked back to the main gym. A class was in session, students doing push-ups and sit-ups. Their instructor counted reps in a loud voice. "That's our military preparation program," Ryan said, "for students interested in joining the armed forces." "What's a military?" Velra asked. "Armed forces," Ryan explained. "Trained soldiers who defend the country and respond to threats." "You train people specifically for combat?" Zixthor asked. "Well, yeah," Ryan said. "Most nations have a military." "What kind of training do they do?" Krina asked. "Physical conditioning, weapons training, tactical skills," Ryan said. "They push recruits really hard. Basic training is designed to break you down and build you back up stronger." "Break you down," Velra repeated. "It's intense," Kyle said. "My sister did Marine training before she climbed Everest. She said the mountain was easier than boot camp." Ryan checked his watch. "All right, I think that's enough for today. You guys look exhausted." They were. Zixthor's entire body ached. They had barely done anything, just walked around and watched, but the gravity and the effort of existing on Earth had drained them. As they left the gym, Zixthor looked back at the humans still working out, still running, lifting, pushing themselves, by choice. "They're not just surviving their planet," he said to Velra. "They're conquering it. Every day." That evening, back in the dorms, Zixthor searched the human internet for information about Earth's military. What he found made his blood run cold. Training programs designed to push humans beyond normal limits, soldiers who could march for miles carrying heavy packs, special forces who operated in extreme environments, combat techniques that used human strength and endurance as weapons. "They don't just survive," he said to the others. "They train to be even more dangerous than they already are." "Why would you need to train?" Krina asked. "They're already strong." The alarm echoed through the chemistry building. Zixthor and the other alien students had been walking past when it started. Red lights flashed above the exits. Students poured out of the building in organized lines. "What's happening?" Velra asked. "Chemical spill," a human student said as he passed. "Someone screwed up in Lab 3. Zixthor felt panic rising. Chemical spills were deadly. His people would evacuate an entire city for such a threat. But the humans around him seemed calm, concerned, but not terrified. Emergency vehicles arrived within minutes. Humans in protective suits rushed into the building. The alien students watched from a safe distance, expecting to hear news of casualties. Kyle found them in the crowd. "Hey, did you guys get out okay?" "We weren't inside," Zixthor said. "What happened?" "Not sure yet," Kyle said. "Looks like someone mixed the wrong compounds. Probably created some toxic fumes or something." "Probably," Zixthor said weakly. The casual way Kyle talked about toxic fumes was disturbing. 20 minutes later, the emergency team brought someone out on a stretcher. It was Danny Wright, a chemistry student Zixthor had met in the cafeteria. His shirt was torn, and parts of his skin looked red and blistered. The alien students gasped. That much chemical damage would be fatal to most species. Danny was conscious. He was actually talking to the paramedics as they loaded him into the ambulance. "I'm sorry," Danny was saying. "I should have double-checked the labels. That was stupid of me." He was apologizing. The human had been exposed to toxic chemicals, and he was apologizing for being careless. "Is he going to die?" Krina whispered. "What? No," Kyle said. "Looks like chemical burns, maybe some inhalation damage. He'll be in the hospital for a bit, but he'll be fine." "He'll be fine," Zixthor repeated. "He was covered in corrosive chemicals." "Yeah, but the response time was good," Kyle said. "They got him out fast and he'll get treatment. Modern medicine is pretty amazing." The ambulance drove away, lights flashing. The emergency team went back inside to clean up the spill. Within an hour, the building was declared safe and classes resumed. "They're going back inside?" Velra asked in disbelief. "Well, yeah," Kyle said. "The danger's gone. No point in canceling classes." That evening, Professor Amy Richardson called a meeting with the alien students. She wanted to make sure they understood what had happened. "Danny made a mistake," she said. "He mixed incompatible compounds and created a corrosive vapor. He received chemical burns to his hands and chest, and some lung irritation from breathing the fumes." "Is he going to survive?" Zixthor asked. Amy looked surprised. "Of course. He's already out of intensive care. They're keeping him for observation, but he should be released in a few days." "A few days," Velra said. "That level of injury and he'll recover in days?" "Humans heal fairly quickly," Amy said. "Our bodies are good at repairing damage, plus we have excellent medical technology." She pulled up images on her tablet, showing the treatment Danny was receiving. Skin grafts to repair the burns, medication to reduce inflammation, oxygen therapy for his lungs. "His body is already producing new skin cells," Amy explained. "In a few weeks, you won't even be able to tell he was injured." "How is that possible?" Krina asked. "Evolution," Amy said. "Humans who could heal from injuries survived to pass on their genes. Over time, we developed robust regenerative capabilities." She showed them statistics. Humans could recover from broken bones, deep cuts, even organ damage. Their bodies fought off infections naturally. Their pain tolerance allowed them to stay conscious and functional through injuries that would incapacitate other species. "We're very hard to kill," Amy said simply. "It's one of our species' defining traits." The next day, Kyle took them to visit Danny in the hospital. Zixthor was reluctant, expecting to see someone on the edge of death. Instead, Danny was sitting up in bed, eating food and watching television. "Hey, guys," Danny said when they entered. His hands were bandaged and there were patches on his chest, but he was smiling. "Sorry if I scared you yesterday." "You scared us?" Zixthor said. "You're the one who was injured." "Hey, I've had worse," Danny said. "Broke my leg skiing last year. That sucked way more than this." "You broke your leg and that was worse," Velra said slowly. "You broke a bone and survived." "Well, yeah," Danny said. "It took like 8 weeks to heal completely. These burns should heal faster." A doctor came in to check on him. Dr. Lisa Morgan was calm and professional, examining the burns with practiced efficiency. "Looking good," she said. "The new skin is growing nicely. How's the pain?" "Not too bad," Danny said. "The medicine helps." "You're still feeling pain?" Krina asked. "A bit," Danny said, "but it's manageable." Dr. Morgan turned to the alien students. "Are you the exchange students I've heard about?" "Yes," Zixthor said. "We're learning about Earth." "Well, you picked an interesting day to learn about our medical capabilities," she said. "Danny here is a good example of human resilience." "How long until he's fully recovered?" Velra asked. "Physically, about 2 to 3 weeks for the burns to heal," Dr. Morgan said. "He might have some scarring, but we have treatments for that too. He'll be back to normal activities within a month." A month? Complete recovery from what should have been a fatal injury in just a month. "Do humans often survive things that should kill them?" Zixthor asked. Dr. Morgan considered the question. "I suppose we do. The human body is remarkably resilient. We have redundant systems, strong immune responses, and good healing capabilities. Plus, our pain management allows us to stay conscious and rational even when injured." She explained how human bodies produced adrenaline during emergencies, increasing strength and dulling pain. How endorphins acted as natural painkillers. How the fight-or-flight response kept humans functioning in dangerous situations. "Basically, when something tries to kill a human, our bodies kick into survival mode," she said. "We're designed to keep going even when damaged." After leaving the hospital, the alien students were quiet. They walked back to campus in silence. Finally, Velra spoke. "They have built-in emergency systems, chemicals that activate when they're in danger. Every species from a Deathworld needs advantages," Krina said. "Humans have many." That evening, they met in Zixthor's room to discuss what they had learned. "Let's review what we know about humans," Zixthor said. "They live on a high-gravity world with extreme weather, dangerous predators, and poisonous plants." "They evolved to be persistence hunters," Velra added. "They can run for hours without stopping. Their muscles are dense, their bones are strong, and they heal from injuries that would kill us," Krina said. "They have natural combat drugs that activate during stress," Velra continued, "and they train themselves to be even stronger. They eat food hot enough to burn us, they breathe air that would make us sick, and they consider all of this normal," Zixthor finished. The room fell silent. "I made a mistake," Zixthor said finally. "When we first arrived, I thought humans seemed weak because they were friendly. Because they smiled and helped us and were kind." "We all thought that," Velra said. "But kindness isn't weakness," Zixthor said. "A species that has nothing to fear can afford to be kind. Humans don't need to posture or threaten because they're already dangerous." "They hide it well," Krina said. "They seem so gentle." "That's what makes them terrifying," Zixthor said. "They're the most dangerous species I've ever encountered, and they don't even realize it." There was a knock on the door. Security Officer Chris Palmer stood outside, his uniform crisp and professional. "Evening," he said. "Professor Richardson asked me to check on you, make sure you weren't too shaken up by today's incident." "We're fine," Zixthor said. "Thank you for checking." "Good," Chris said. "These things happen sometimes. Labs are generally safe, but accidents occur. That's why we have protocols. How often do accidents happen? Velra asked. Chemical spills, maybe once or twice a year, Chris said. Usually minor. Today's was worse than average, but still within manageable parameters. Manageable parameters. A chemical spill that would devastate most worlds was just within manageable parameters to humans. Do you ever have accidents that aren't manageable? Krina asked. Chris thought about it. Sure. Couple years ago, we had a fire in one of the engineering buildings. Took 3 hours to put out. No fatalities, but some injuries. No fatalities from a 3-hour fire, Zixthor said. Everyone got out, Chris said. The fire suppression systems worked, the evacuation was orderly, and the fire department responded quickly. It's all about preparation and response. After Chris left, Velra pulled up information about human emergency services. Fire departments, police, ambulances, search and rescue teams. Entire organizations dedicated to responding to disasters. They've systematized survival, she said. They've taken the dangers of their world and created structures to manage them. They don't just survive, Krina said. They calculate risk and decide what level of danger is acceptable. Zixthor thought about everything they had seen. Humans hiking through forests full of predators, running until their bodies screamed for rest, climbing mountains that could kill them, working with chemicals that could burn them. They're not afraid, he said. That's what I keep coming back to. They know their world is dangerous. They know they could die. They just don't let it stop them. Because they've been dealing with it their whole lives, Velra said. Every human grows up learning how to survive. It's built into their culture. Into their biology, Krina added. They're products of their environment. The lecture hall was full. Human students filled most of the seats, curious to learn about alien worlds. Professor Amy Richardson stood at the front, smiling as she introduced the presentation. Today, our exchange students will share information about their homeworlds, she said. This is a rare opportunity to learn about planets beyond our own. Zixthor went first. He pulled up images of his homeworld on the large screen. Rolling plains stretched to the horizon under a pale sky. This is Zixtar, he said. My planet has a gravity of 0.6 compared to Earth. Our atmosphere is thinner, our oxygen content lower. The entire planet has one climate zone. Temperature varies by only 10 degrees throughout the year. The human students leaned forward, interested. We have no mountains, Zixthor continued. The highest elevation is about 30 feet. We have no tectonic activity, no volcanoes, no earthquakes. Weather is controlled and predictable. Rain falls on a schedule. That sounds peaceful, one human said. It is, Zixthor said. We have very few predators. Most were relocated to preserves thousands of years ago. Our largest remaining wild animal is about the size of your house cats. He showed more images. Cities that stretched for miles, all built on flat ground. Gardens with neat rows of plants, rivers that flowed gently between smooth banks. Life expectancy on Zixtar is about 200 years, he said. Accidental death is extremely rare. We have maybe 1 or 2 natural disasters per century, usually minor flooding. The humans looked amazed. Kyle raised his hand. So you don't have to worry about safety much? He asked. Not really, Zixthor said. Our world is very stable. That must be nice, Kyle said. Relaxing. It is, Zixthor agreed. He sat down and Velra took his place. This is Velros, she said, showing images of her hive world. Massive structures rose from perfectly manicured ground. My planet has 0.5 Earth gravity. We have no weather variations. Temperature is maintained at exactly 72 degrees everywhere. The humans whispered to each other. Maintain temperature. Everywhere. We engineered our climate 10,000 years ago, Velra explained. Our ancestors decided environmental chaos was inefficient, so they stabilized everything. She showed images of her people's cities. Everything was ordered, organized, controlled. We have no wild spaces, she said. Every square mile of our planet is managed. We grow food in controlled facilities. We have no predators, no poisonous plants, no dangerous animals of any kind. What about emergencies? A human asked. We don't really have those, Velra said. Systems are redundant. If something breaks, backups activate immediately. The last major accident on our world was 300 years ago. 300 years, the human repeated, sounding awed. Krina went last. Her water world appeared on screen, vast oceans stretching endlessly. This is Krivar, she said. 0.7 Earth gravity. Our entire planet is ocean, with floating cities on the surface. The water temperature stays between 70 and 80 degrees year-round. She showed images of her people swimming through clear, calm waters. No waves, no storms, just gentle currents. We have no land predators because we have no land, she said. Our marine life is peaceful. The largest creature in our oceans is about 6 feet long and eats plants. No sharks? Someone asked. No whales? I don't know what those are, Krina said. A human pulled up images on their phone and showed her. Krina's skin turned pale blue when she saw the teeth on the shark. No, she said. We have nothing like that. That would be terrifying. After the alien presentations, Amy stood up again. Thank you all for sharing, she said. Now, I thought it would be interesting to have our human students present about Earth so our visitors can understand how we see our world. Kyle volunteered. He pulled up images of Earth from space, the blue and green planet floating against black space. This is Earth, he said. Gravity is one Earth standard, obviously. We have 5 major climate zones ranging from Arctic to tropical. Temperature varies from -100 degrees to +130 degrees depending on location. The aliens shifted in their seats. They knew this, but hearing it stated so plainly was still shocking. We have active weather systems, Kyle continued. Hurricanes, tornadoes, thunderstorms, blizzards. We get thousands of lightning strikes every day. Some areas get 10 feet of rain per year. Others get almost none. He showed images of hurricanes from above, massive spirals of clouds, tornadoes tearing across plains, lightning illuminating storm clouds. We have active geology, he said. About 1,500 volcanoes, several hundred of which are currently active. We get earthquakes constantly, mostly small ones, but occasionally big enough to destroy cities. Images of volcanic eruptions filled the screen. Lava flowing down mountainsides, ash clouds rising miles into the sky. We have extreme terrain, Kyle continued. Mountains over 29,000 feet high, ocean trenches 7 miles deep, deserts, rainforests, tundra, grasslands, every environment you can imagine. More images. Dense jungles where plants fought for sunlight, frozen wastelands where nothing grew, deserts where water was scarce. For wildlife, we have about 8 million species, Kyle said, including several thousand that can kill humans, bears, big cats, sharks, crocodiles, venomous snakes, poisonous spiders, toxic plants. The image changed to show a grizzly bear, then a great white shark, then a crocodile with its massive jaws open. Humans coexist with these? One alien asked. Yeah, Kyle said. We've learned to live alongside them. Sometimes we even keep some as pets. You keep predators as pets? Velra asked. Not the big ones, Kyle said. But dogs are descended from wolves. Cats are predators too, just small ones. He showed images of happy dogs and cats with their human families. The aliens stared in disbelief. So yeah, Kyle said. Earth is pretty intense, but it's home. We're used to it. He sat down. The room was quiet. Finally, Zixthor stood up. Can I say something? Of course, Amy said. Zixthor walked to the front. When we first arrived, we thought the Deathworld classification was exaggerated. We thought humans seemed too friendly, too kind to be from such a dangerous place. The human students listened quietly. "But over the past few weeks, we've learned something important," Zixthor said. "You don't realize how exceptional you are. Everything about Earth would kill us. The gravity alone is crushing. Your weather would destroy our cities. Your predators would hunt us to extinction." He pulled up a comparison chart he had made. Earth's specifications next to the aliens' homeworlds. "Look at this," he said. "Your planet has 10 times the geological activity of ours, 100 times more dangerous species. Your gravity is double what we're adapted for. Your atmosphere is richer in oxygen, which fuels faster metabolisms and stronger bodies." The humans looked surprised. They had never thought of it this way. "And you," Zixthor said, gesturing to the human students. "You evolved here. You're built for this environment. Your bones are dense enough to handle the gravity. Your muscles are strong enough to move in it. Your immune systems fight off diseases we've never encountered." Velra stood up and joined him. "You can run for hours. You can heal from injuries that would kill us. You have natural combat drugs in your bloodstreams, and you think this is normal." "Because for you it is," Krina added, standing as well. "You grew up learning how to survive. Every human child learns about dangerous plants and animals. You learn to check the weather before going outside. You learn to prepare for disasters." "We don't have to do any of that," Zixthor said. "Our worlds are safe, stable, predictable. We never had to develop the capabilities you have." The lecture hall was completely silent now. "When I saw Kyle helping me up the stairs on our first day, I thought he was just being nice," Zixthor said. "I didn't realize that what was exhausting for me was effortless for him. When I saw Megan running for an hour, I didn't understand that humans are built for endurance. When Danny got burned by chemicals and survived, we finally understood," Velra said. "Humans are incredibly hard to kill. Your bodies fight to survive in ways we've never seen." "And your kindness," Krina said. "That was the most confusing part. Species from harsh worlds are usually aggressive, territorial. But humans are friendly and welcoming." "We thought it meant you were weak," Zixthor said. "We were wrong. Kindness isn't weakness. It's confidence. You can afford to be gentle because you don't have anything to prove. You already know what you're capable of." Kyle shifted in his seat, looking uncomfortable. "We're not that special," he said. "Yes, you are," Zixthor said firmly. "You just don't see it because everyone around you is the same. But compared to the rest of the galaxy, humans are exceptional." "In what way?" Amy asked gently. "In every way that matters for survival," Zixthor said. "The galaxy has species with better technology, species that are older, more advanced, but none of them came from a place like Earth. None of them had to fight just to exist." He pulled up the Deathworld classification criteria. "Earth meets every single marker," he said. "High gravity, extreme weather, geological instability, dangerous fauna, disease pressure, radiation exposure. Most planets meet one or two of these criteria. Earth meets all of them." "And you survived," Velra said. "Not just survived, you thrived. You built civilizations, developed technology, reached for the stars, while dealing with all of this." "That's what makes humans unique," Krina said. "Not your technology or your culture. It's your resilience, your determination, your refusal to give up." "We carry our advantages with us," Zixthor said. "Gravity assistance, environmental controls, medical support. You don't need any of that. You're already adapted to the harshest conditions." "So when we go out into the galaxy," Kyle said slowly, "we're already prepared for anything." "More than prepared," Zixthor said. "You're forged by a world that tested you every single day, that made you strong, fast, resilient. The galaxy is easier than Earth." The human students looked at each other, processing this information. "We never thought about it like that," one said. "Of course not," Velra said. "You think Earth is normal because it's all you know. But it's not. It's exceptional. And so are you. Amy stood up, smiling. This has been incredibly enlightening. Thank you all for sharing your perspectives. After class, the alien students walked back to the dorms with Kyle and some other humans. So, Kyle said, you guys decided to extend your stay, right? Yes, Zixthor said. We have permission to stay for another semester. That's great, Kyle said. You're adapting well, using the gravity assist less. We're building muscle, Velra said. Slowly, our bodies are adjusting. By the time you leave, you'll be stronger than anyone on your homeworlds, Kyle said. Honorary Deathworlders, Zixthor said with a smile. They walked across campus, the alien students moving easier than they had weeks ago. The stairs were still hard, but not impossible. The gravity was still heavy, but manageable. You know what I realized? Krina said. Humans don't make Earth safe for them. They make themselves capable of handling Earth. That's a good way to put it, Kyle said. That evening, Zixthor sat in his room writing in his journal. He had kept detailed notes about everything he had learned. He wrote, Earth is classified as a Class 12 death world, one of the most hostile environments in the known galaxy. Its dominant species, humans, have evolved to not just survive but thrive in these conditions. They possess physical capabilities that exceed most spacefaring species. Strength, endurance, healing, pain tolerance, all forged by constant environmental pressure. But more importantly, he wrote, humans possess something harder to quantify. They face danger with calm determination. They respond to crisis with organized efficiency. They prepare for disasters as a matter of routine. They seek challenges that would terrify other species. He paused, thinking about Kyle talking about climbing Everest, about Megan running marathons, about Danny apologizing while covered in chemical burns. And yet, he wrote, they are kind. They help without being asked. They share without hesitation. They welcome strangers with open arms. This combination of capability and compassion makes them unique in the galaxy. Other species fear danger and avoid it. Humans respect danger and prepare for it. When they encounter something that could kill them, they don't run. They study it, understand it, and find a way to coexist with it or overcome it. He looked out his window at the campus. A storm was rolling in, dark clouds gathering. Human students rushed to get inside, but they weren't panicking, just moving efficiently, used to Earth's unpredictable weather. Final entry, he wrote, Today I understood why Earth earned the title Death World. Not because it's the most dangerous planet in the galaxy, though it might be, but because it produced a species that carries that danger with them, in their strength, in their resilience, in their unshakable determination to survive and thrive no matter what the universe throws at them. Earth doesn't make humans afraid. It makes them fearless. Zixthor's tablet chimed with an email. Professor Richardson wants us to prepare presentations about our homeworlds for next week. She wants us to share our cultures with the human students. Of course she does, Velra said. Cultural exchange. It'll be interesting to see their reaction, Krina said, when they realize how different our worlds are from Earth. They'll probably think our planets are boring, Zixthor said. Safe and boring. They might be right, Velra said quietly. Outside, thunder rumbled. Another storm was rolling in, the third one that week. The humans wouldn't even notice. Than most species. Because strong isn't enough for them, Zixthor said. They want to be stronger. His tablet beeped with a notification, an email from the university. Oh no, he said, reading it. What? Velra asked. There's been an accident in one of the labs. Professor Richardson sent the schedule for next week, Velra said. We have physical education class. What's that? Zixthor asked. Velra pulled up the description on her tablet. It says we'll learn about human athletic capabilities and exercise programs. The aliens looked at each other with dread. They exercise on purpose, Krina said. They make themselves stronger intentionally. Of course they do, Zixthor said. They live on a planet where everything wants to kill them. They have to stay strong just to survive. Outside, thunder rumbled again. Another storm was coming. The wild, dangerous animals, Velra added. On a planet classified as a death world, Krina finished. They looked at each other. Maybe we should have read those warning files more carefully, Zixthor said.